Before we begin the meeting of the Finance Committee, I would ask Arnold Randall to introduce to us our new Chief Financial Officer for the district.
Thank you, Madam President. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
It's my pleasure to introduce to you Mark Thomas as our new Chief Financial Officer for the Forest Preserve District. Mark comes to us with a wealth of background, working in local government, both for the Chicago Park District as a budget director, Chief Administrative Officer, as well as the Chief of Staff for the superintendent there, and also has worked in city government, Chicago city government, also has worked in Michigan, in local government in Michigan as well. So he brings a wealth of experience. We appreciate his willingness to come on board, and we think will help us in a very significant way. At this time, I do want to also recognize and thank our previous CFO, Marlo Kemp, for his service to the district. He's a wonderful man, and wish him well as he moves forward as well. Thank you.
One more good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
The Finance Committee for the Forest Preserve District of Cook County will come to order. When the Secretary please call the roll.
Commissioner Beavers, Commissioner Butler, Commissioner Collins is absent, Commissioner Daly, Commissioner Fritchie is absent, Commissioner Gaynor is absent, Commissioner Garcia, Commissioner Gorman, Commissioner Murphy is absent, Commissioner Reyes is absent, Commissioner Schneider, Commissioner Silvestri is absent, Commissioner Sims is absent, Vice Chairman Steele, Commissioner Suffredin, Commissioner Tobolski is absent, Chairman Goslin.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you. The Secretary has informed me that there was a quorum present and we were able to conduct the business of our committee. Are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes. Mr. Chairman, there was an errata distributed. There were transposed numbers on item 11 FINA 0145, which are the legal fees that are to be approved.
Okay, thank you. Any members have any changes? The bill on the chair recognizes Vice Chairman Steele.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to move approval of disbursements 11 FINA 0130 through 11 FINA 0144.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Schneider, any discussion? Being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. In the opinion of the chair, the motion carries. Committee report.
I'll move it forward.
Would you? I would. As amended?
Second. And you want to move approval of?
No, you just did.
I did?
You did. Second by Commissioner Suffredin. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Opinion of the chair, the motion carries. So we have a bid communication, Commissioner Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move approval of item 11 FINA 0146.
For a second.
You want to go through 0151?
Yeah. You go through the end?
That's correct. Oh, yes.
Good. You want to restate your
yes. I move to approve item 11 FINA 0146 through 11 FINA 0151.
Thank you. Second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. In the opinion of the chair, the motion carries.
I'll just make one. Can I make a comment?
Yes, you may.
So on 11 Finance 0150, we had separate discussions with the Forest Preserve staff, and we will be working with the community on a different layout for tree removal.
Okay. So, yes. Would you add Commissioner Gaynor to the roll, please? Anyone else come in that I missed? Collins as well.
Mr. Chairman?
Commissioner Collins.
I apologize, and let me also apologize to you guys too. When I hold my head down because I had major surgery in my throat, some of you know about it, a year and a half ago now, and so it's often difficult for you to hear me because when I hold my head down, sometimes the air doesn't flow the way it should.
Mr. Collins, I've never had a problem hearing you.
Well, some people say that I, in the paper, say that I'm mumbling. It may not come out or sound the way you think it should or used to.
Okay.
But I just want you to know that there's a problem. But no, I would request leave to, if you can indulge me, to ask just a quick question. And that was on the item dealing with our fuel, the purchase of fuel with the Forest Preserve.
Yes.
And the question is, are they engaged or involved in the efforts, the President's efforts of consolidation in terms of purchasing of fuel with the state or with the city or with other agencies to reduce the cost?
Yep. Yes, Commissioner, the answer is yes. We're working very closely with the larger county on the fuel contracts. We've piggybacked on the existing fuel contracts in the past. So we want to get the best price, and we recognize that partnering with the larger county is the best way to do that.
Okay, and this is a result, these prices are based on that,
Absolutely.
or are they independent?
No, they're based on that.
Okay. Thanks.
Commissioner Daly, did you wish to be recognized? Chair recognizes Vice Chairman Steele for purposes of the revenue report.
Mr. Chair, we want to move to receive and file the revenue report, 11 FINA 0152.
Before we consider this matter, I would ask the Chief Financial Officer to give us the overview, and welcome Mr. Thomas to our committee. Look forward to working with you.
Thank you. Very briefly, if you, just a couple quick items on the revenue and expense report. I'd like to highlight, I started Monday, but coming in with a lot of support from staff, and I really appreciate that. I want to recognize them. Property taxes.
I have a question.
Yes.
We got a new person for.
We did. I'm sorry.
He was introduced while you were talking to Robert.
Huh?
He was introduced while you were talking to Robert.
Oh, okay. We got a new person for.
We do. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, thank
The
you.
President introduced. Perhaps you weren't in the room. The President.
He was talking to Robert.
Oh, all right.
I'll come by and say hi after, Commissioner.
All right, I can't see, but what's your name?
Mark Thomas.
See, we're in the first names now.
Thanks. Just a couple of quick highlights, both on the revenue side and the expense side. I wanted to point out, you look at property taxes, the collections look to be ahead of the annualized budget, and that's because some of the taxes from 2010 came in the beginning of 2011, and once they're accrued back to 2010, we don't anticipate any major loss in collections, and we anticipate being on budget for 2011 in terms of property tax collections. In terms of personal property tax collections, we know that's volatile, it's very economically sensitive, and so we budgeted for 2011 conservatively. Thankfully, that's working out in terms of matching the budget. You'll see. Year to date, we've received 6 of the 8 installments this year, and we don't anticipate any major fluctuation in the last 2, barring any financial collapse, nationwide or worldwide. So personal property replacement tax as a large revenue source, I just wanted to cover that. In terms of concessions, not a large number, but a nominal difference budget versus actual, and that's because of the seasonality of the collection of concessions. As we're wrapping up the season, those will be booked, and we should come in on budget, if not ahead, for 2011. License agreements are significantly ahead, and there's 2 reasons for that. One, again, some of the collections for 2010 licenses happened at the beginning of 2011 and will be accrued back to 2010. And then number 2 was a matter of our staff ramping up enforcement for boundary encroachments and license holding themselves, permitting and things like that. So it's a combination of just factual accounting things and where it's recorded, but the thing to be commended on the staff side is the enforcement of boundary encroachments and licensing requirements overall. And the fund balance contribution, I imagine this looks the same every month. That's an end-of-year transfer where fund balance funds will be transferred to the Real Estate Acquisition Fund, Self-Insurance Fund, and the Capital Improvement Fund, so we won't see that until the end of the year. On the expense side, everything seems to be in line. Nothing is really off. The general office budget is off, and that's in terms of personnel. Obviously, with the new administration, positions are being filled mid-year. And so for 2011, that should end under a little bit. But for 2012, we don't anticipate any big fluctuation in that number in the general office side of things. Resource management and general maintenance, again, off for the year, but on year over year in terms of budget because of the seasonality of the positions, the labor positions, and the contract expenses for those 2 items. Any questions?
Any questions of the CFO? Question. Vice Chairman Steele.
Thank you. Under fines on the revenue report, it looks like 211 is 150,000, 210 is 200,000. Are we below on our fines collections?
If you look at the year-to-date on fine collection, you'll see that the year-to-date 2011 is actually ahead of the budget.
Okay, all right, I see where you're at.
And that's because we made the adjustment back from 200,000 in 2010, trying to make an adjustment to make the budget estimate more accurate.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Any further questions? I bring on question is, shall the revenue report be received and filed? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. In the opinion of the chair, motion carries. There being no further business, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move this,
Vice Chair Seal moves that we stand adjourned. Is there a second? Commissioner Sims, and may add Commissioner Sims to the roll. She seconds the motion. All those in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. In the opinion of the chair, motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. Madam President, it's all yours.